So you just bought a Steam Deck and you're looking to buy a case, buy something that will protect your investment. And there's a lot of options out there, but I'm sure it must be quite confusing. I'm here to talk about my favorite case, the case that I found to be the best, and the one that has the most set of features at the same time being a case that protects your Steam Deck whilst also making it quite enjoyable to play with. The JSOC's kickstand case was one that I really kind of gravitated to, mainly because of the texture design, at the same time the kickstand that it had on the back. Now they have gone through a number of iterations and there is an updated one that I'll discuss later on. But overall, they've done a really good job of making a Steam Deck case that will go along with your Steam Deck whilst also making sure that it's something that you enjoy holding in your hand. So looking at this case, you can see that it does blend quite well with the Steam Deck itself. There's only one color option available right now. I honestly would like more color options, but it does kind of mesh well with what the Steam Deck looks like. So it does kind of blend well that way. Now the key reason I really like this case is because of these grooves or this texture on the corners. So normally when you're gripping onto the Steam Deck, there's almost like a glide-ish kind of a texture that you get. It is still pretty comfortable with the Steam Deck on its own, but with this on, it kind of almost feels like my palms and my hands are locked in. That's one of the key reasons I feel that this kind of just works better with most hands. Not that the Steam Deck itself wasn't designed well, it has really good grooves in the back on its own that you do kind of get a really good fit. But this just it just feels like it's more locked in. I'm kind of able to kind of engage with my games a bit better, but it's just subtle changes that do kind of impact you over time. So it's something that I noticed immediately and I told myself, I'm like, yep, no, I need this on all the time now. Now looking at the back, you can see that we have this clear kind of a look to it, which I really like. At the same time, there is the back stand, the kickstand on the back. So I'm gonna open this up, and with the kickstand, you'll kind of notice that it's a little flimsy. So if you do kind of put it all the way up, you need to kind of hold it up like that, and you kind of put it down, and it's perfect that way. Of course, you can kind of play around with it whilst it's open as well. But as you can see in the back, it is a little flimsy, and when you do want to lock it in, you do need to press a little hard to kind of lock it in place so that it doesn't come off. So my main issue with that is you just have one specific kind of set range with this, and that's it. In most cases, this is fine. But of course, if you had more options, and I'll kind of discuss what is available for that, it would be a bit better. One key feature a lot of people don't look at when it comes to these types of cases are the vents. So the exhaust on the back and also the exhaust on the top. You want something that is kind of clear cut like this, like a whole circular kind of a thing, similar for the one back here, rather than having a case that has basically a cutout layout of this spot, but has these tiny lines almost imitating what's on the vents here. So I've seen a few like that, and with those, it should be fine. In most cases, it should be fine. But I worry that those will cause a bit more of a warmer experience, because I worry that with those little slits just kind of mocking these in a way, it will kind of bounce off and on, which again, it might not be an issue, but something that I was kind of looking out for. I wanted to make sure it was a full clear cut. Same thing over here. Now, one issue you might face is if you're someone that likes to dock your system, likes to dock your Steam Deck, this case does not really make it that easy. Actually, you can't dock it at all. So let me bring my Steam Deck, the official Valve Steam Deck dock here. And you'll see, first of all, it does not fit in this. I mean, it kind of holds in that position, but of course it's kind of flimsy. But even with that, you will need a dock that is not in this L shape, which is of course designed to be able to kind of hook into that groove a bit more, efficiently without it kind of bending. But if you notice, it will just not go in just because of the grooves, the type of groove it has on the side. So if you want to be able to use this with a dock, you need something that is just kind of able to go in directly from the top. At the same time, you also want to make sure the dock is wide enough, which might not be the case with a lot of them. Otherwise, this dock does have spots for all the buttons, everything that you need to be able to press: the volume button, the headphones area, the power button, of course, where your micro SD card goes. The power button does feel like it's a little harder to reach. I do have to kind of go inside of it to be able to reach it, but overall it's not that bad. You do kind of get used to it. It is a case that is supposed to be a bit more protective of your gear, right? You want to make sure that it's safe, so of course it will be a little bit more bulkier on the sides. on the back, when it comes to these buttons, the back buttons as well, they're kind of perfectly aligned. You never feel like you're not going to be able to press them or anything like that. And like I said, the main thing is that it all just kind of feels so secure. It feels way better in my hands. And I just kind of feel like I want to keep playing it like this all the time. Now, another issue is that with this specific case, you're not able to actually put this inside of your Steam Deck case that comes with your Steam Deck. So it does kind of fit, but you'll notice it is kind of bulky, and I can feel the buttons kind of clicking, especially the analogs, and it's kind of like a tight squeeze. So you can do it if you want. In my case, I do like having my Steam Deck out most of the time either way, so I probably won't be doing that. But of course, just letting you know that it does not fit perfectly in there. You will feel these analog sticks kind of bump in as you're closing it. For worst case scenarios, if you do need to kind of carry it like this, it's fine, but I would not keep it in this for longer periods of time just because it is kind of pressing onto it pretty intensely. Now, the only other thing I would have liked from this Steam Deck case specifically was that I know these grips are great. These grips do feel really, really good, but I would have wanted something a little bit more of a controller kind of a feel. Now, the example that I would like to use for this is the Skull & Co grip that you get for the Nintendo Switch. So this kind of just almost converts it into a controller in your hand. It has a really good feel. You have multiple kind of options when it comes to the type of grip you would want. So if you're someone that has big hands, smaller hands, if you want a different kind of texture, it works really great with that. Of course, at the same time, this is not really a protective case. It's not protecting the Nintendo Switch at all. But overall, you can kind of see that it does kind of give you that controller feel. So when you do turn on and you want to start playing a game, it obviously just kind of goes right into it. You feel like you're holding a controller in your hand, and it just feels a lot better to play like this. Again, not that it feels like this is not a good case or you're not able to kind of play this, efficiently or well in any way. It does have that weight to it, that kind of that controller feel that you want. But I would have liked something that kind of just protrudes out a little bit. And who knows, maybe it's already being made as I speak. But that's kind of the thing that I felt like was missing from this, or something that I would want in general later on. Now, the JSOX case, of course, is great for the Steam Deck. It overall is an amazing product. But like I mentioned, some of the issues with the JSOX case itself, there is a newer updated version of the JSOX case available now. This actually fixes a couple of the issues that I had with the other case, including being able to now actually put the dock cable into the Steam Deck. This is done by them essentially leaving a big chunk of plastic out of the case so that we're able to put the USB-C cable in for the dock. At the same time, they also have a different version of the kickstand where you're able to kind of set different levels based on the height or the angle that you want the Steam Deck to be in. Also feels a little bit more secure, at least in my opinion, where it does kind of sit in a groove when it comes to the angle you're choosing. So just kind of make sure that it's not going to be a little bit flimsy or it's not going to fall off. The new case is only a couple of dollars more, so if you are someone that actually wants a case that will basically be able to go in with your dock, if you are someone that docks your Steam Deck quite a bit, you should definitely check out that case. At the same time, if you're not too happy about the Steam Deck kickstand on this one, where there's not a lot of levels, you only have one setting, again, you should definitely check out the updated Steam Deck case in that case. I should mention that the Steam Deck case without the opening groove at the top for the USB-C cable and the different levels of the kickstand, this one is available for around $20, if not less. At least in Canada, it's around $22. At the same time, the new one, the updated one, is around $25 or $26. So you can save a couple of dollars here and there if you go with this other case itself. But again, you need to look at your use case, what you're going to be using your Steam Deck as. At the same time, also just kind of preparing for the future. If you do feel that you're going to be using your Steam Deck in a dock kind of a situation later on, you should definitely check out the other case. It should be kept in mind that whatever case you choose, it will be a hard fit when it comes to putting it into your Steam Deck, the overall Valve case that was sent over. You will need something that's a little bit bigger, or if you're like me and leave your Steam Deck out all the time because you use it so much, this might not be a worry for you in that case. Holding my Steam Deck like this is just to kind of reiterate, it's really comfortable. I honestly just want to start playing. So thank you everyone for joining. It really means a lot. I have a couple of other cases on their way that I will be testing with my Steam Deck, but until then, you know what to do. See you later. Bye.